love all of our players. Freddie, nice guy.
Look, the crack of that bat. Nothing more beautiful than that.
Baseball is such an important part of our family.
That's the beautiful game of baseball right there. You win some, you truly lose some.
I just want somebody to talk Dodgers to me. I don't think I told you this, but Adam hates the Dodgers.
Oh, that's sick. Bless you.
So it's become a fun part of the podcast that he
Why does he hate
basically
the
laughs
Dodgers?
whenever I bring up Kershaw, says he's going to be wheeled out in a wheelchair, and calls us spoiled Dodger fans and evil empire of the West.
And because you are a fan of Chicago Cubs. I mean, you're not far off right now. Like, you got enough money. Don't get me started on this.
We
because
don't have owners willing to spend it.
That's
So.
the
Yeah,
thing.
see, don't
You're
get mad at the team. Get mad at
spoiled
your own
brats.
owners.
We're spoiled brats because our owners actually spend money. It's like,
I
They
have a
want to
theory.
win.
I'm not gonna. I've already told you my theory. but
What's your
What's the theory?
theory?
The Los Angeles Dodgers are able to spend money more freely because they have more revenue sources than any other team in the league because of geography. Because they're able to tap into the Latin American and Asian markets, they just have so much more opportunity to capitalize on winning than other teams do.
I mean,
So they are more willing to spend money because they know they're going to get it back.
not no. But also, it's
What's
like,
wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong
there's nothing
with it.
wrong with it. No,
It's just, it creates somewhat of an imbalance for the league.
But I had Alana Rizzo on the podcast early on, and probably one of our most successful videos is her talking about money and teams, and she says flat out, any owner can spend money. Any owner
Trust
has
me.
money.
It's the
So
great
don't
hoax.
get mad at the teams that are spending money. Get mad at your own owners for not spending.
It's the great like billionaire hoax of like making them hate us because we're under, we don't have enough money. We don't have this. You have plenty of money. You just don't want to spend it.
Exactly.
You're saving it for yourself and not your fans. So
then it goes into
I'm
another
happy
layer
to-
of like the character of the owners.
I'm happy to be a spoiled.
Me too.
But also it's torture because you expect, it's a weird torture in that like, why do I expect every year to win a championship? And it's like, even with the Lakers, it's like, you see your roster, you know that there's not a chance in fucking hell to win a championship, but you're like, I don't know. I think actually they'll pull it off.
I really want to know actually now, but I know we got to start.
Okay.
Your take on Bronny playing with LeBron.
It's so stupid.
Are we rolling at him?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome back to Talk Dodgers to Me. I am sitting here with Tommy Brockert, who is the owner of Le Sorteds, and we are at his new location in Chinatown, which is an LA-style pizza parlor with a Dodger theme.
Yep.
I mean, this is so cool.
It's pretty amazing. I'm pretty proud of it.
You know, I came here and met you when you hosted a watch party.
Yep.
I think it was game 1 or 2 of the Dodgers-Padres series.
It was high stress.
Oh my gosh.
So
I
much
know.
stress.
But the moment you walk in here, it just like, it has so much heart.
Yeah.
And it's like, you feel like you've been here before. You feel like it's been around for 100 years, but you only opened in October, right?
That watch party was the first hosted event or any event
Really?
I had in here. I'm pretty sure. I think we're just finishing tidying stuff up. And I think that you guys, that was our first event, really.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I was racing to get this place done for the postseason run. And it kind of, truth be told, I had the lease already last year, and I told everyone I was opening in October of 23.
Oh.
And it was a long journey that next year of actually getting it done. So, wild ride. But we're here, and it feels like home. It really, really does. I'm pretty proud of it.
It's amazing. I mean, we're going to walk around a little bit later, but everything we see on the wall is like your personal stuff because you've been a Dodger fan your whole life.
My whole life. I have a lot of stuff, and then I wanted to piece it together with other just memories and kind of unique Dodger things. Stuff that I think it's very easy to put popular posters or photos, signed stuff on the walls, and I think I don't think people understand the depth and the history of so many things that the Dodgers have done or have won or lost, or celebrities that have gone to the stadium, concerts that have happened at the stadium. I mean, the stadium itself to me is like, I don't know, it doesn't seem real that there's just this bluff in downtown Los Angeles, and on top of it, in like a crater, sits one of the biggest stadiums in the United States. It's pretty amazing.
Which is like 5 minutes away from here, guys.
You can see it like right there. Oh, there it is. Yeah, but it's right there. You can actually watch the drone show from our
cool
from our front porch. It's pretty awesome.
Well, before we get into like how Lasorted happened and how that all got started, I want to know about you and just you being a Dodger fan your whole life. So you grew up here. Where are you from exactly?
I was born in Tarzana.
Okay.
And then I have lived every place in Southern California,
really?
Whether it was Ventura County, LA County. I mean, I was just telling Adam that I think I'm 42, and I'm not exaggerating. I think I've lived in close to 60 places. It's a long story.
All in Southern California?
All in Southern, like just, moving every year. It's a whole thing, but but my family grew up mainly in the Valley and even in South LA, and so I don't know. It's been all and around LA. Where
did your love of the Dodgers come from?
It's funny. I have a very interesting Dodger story in that, I think you just grow up being a fan of who your parents are fans of, and my family, my mom's side of the family is from the East Coast.
Okay.
My mom is born in Jersey, but she grew up in Queens, and my grandfather grew up in the Bronx, but he wasn't a Yankees fan. He was a Brooklyn Dodgers fan.
Oh, okay.
And so then my dad's side of the family, grew up, actually went to Dorsey High, and played. My grandfather played baseball with Sparky Anderson in high school, and
cool.
LA people, but that grandmother, on my dad's side, her mother or her grandmother's maiden name was Gehrig. So there was like this lore of the Gehrig family in my West Coast family. So
is there a relation or just the same name?
It's like a second cousin thing.
Oh, cool.
So I still have these dinner party menus of his from his home, that his wife would throw. I have some pretty cool things, and even from my childhood of, like I said, stamps, rare stamps, these rare posters. I have somewhere in some storage unit that I have, but which I have to.
I'm imagining your home of just all the stuff you've collected over the years.
No, trust me.
Or is it now just all over the walls?
I have to say, part of this was, it's like the bobbleheads, having season tickets for so long. Everyone fights to go to these bobblehead games, and it got to a point where I just went, I don't need any more bobbleheads, please.
That's so
with
funny.
The bobbleheads. But a funny story is that one day, I think I was probably 14 or 15, trying to relate with my grandfather. He was one of my best friends, and I think it was the Yankees signing I think it was $275 million contract to A-Rod.
Oh,
and it was that original huge contract. And I said something to him because, I don't know, we didn't ever talk baseball, really. I was young, trying to shoot the shit. And I went to his house and I said, oh, what about that contract, And he just flat out. He goes, "What the fuck do I care?" And I went, like, "Wait, what?" And he's like, "What the fuck do I care about the Yankees? Fuck the Yankees." And I went, "Oh my!" And then it hit me. And then he's like, "I'm a fucking Dodgers fan." And I went, "Oh my God, that's right." And he didn't move out here because the Dodgers moved out here, but he came out here right as the Dodgers came out here, and that's part of his story. You know, like that was his team. And my mom actually just told me that his brother had just brought me some cool Brooklyn Dodgers stuff.
Ooh.
He had some story like of him, you know, those classic stories you hear old broadcasters talk about, like sneaking into games when they were kids, you know, Ebbets Field. And he had a story that he had snuck into a game, and I wish, I'm going to butcher this story and he'd kill me for doing this, but like he has a story where him and his brother, my Uncle Marty, they were leaving the stadium and somebody just pulled up in a car, and the person who picked him up, I believe, was Jackie Robinson. Like,
What?
and just gave him a little ride home. I swear
Oh
to you. He told me it was one of those, like, at a family dinner, they're telling me it's loud, but I was like, wait, I'm still, like, a lot of these stories, I was too young, and it's a bummer that I didn't get to, like, as I've got older, I make a point of asking my grandparents, like, can you just, like, confirm what I have in my head, because I don't want to go around embellishing these stories. But a lot of, I don't know. So it's a funny history of the Brooklyn Dodgers, but LA, and
yes, you have it on both sides.
I do. But my earliest memories of like going to Dodger Stadium with my dad and a friend and like another father or something, but I just remember like being in the back of my dad's truck, not in the bed, but like traffic. I just remember, honestly, the clearest memories I have of going to Dodgers or Lakers games, for that matter, because we lived in Simi Valley, or Thousand Oaks or Chatsworth. It's a trip, you know, it's a trek to get over here, but the traffic used to be so bad getting out of the stadiums, and I just remember so clearly laying in the back of my dad's truck, just like, when do we get out of here? Like, I just remember it being hell on earth leaving, and just like so vividly can see my dad's roof of his F-150 truck. Like, anyways, yeah, that's.
It's funny, those memories that are still so vivid, and not much has changed with leaving the stadium. If anything, it's probably gotten worse. However, you must know some tricks. I mean, I never park at the stadium anymore.
I do have some tricks.
And now you can walk there.
I can.
From here.
The scooters are nice.
Oh.
Scooters.
I haven't done that.
It's also wildly dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, the scooters, that's a side note. But I'm even hesitant to talk about it, about the hack to getting into and out of the stadium is, I'm just going to say it's the Scott entrance. The Scott entrance is like your ticket to heaven. Exactly.
Everyone's going to write that down now.
I know. If you know, you know.
Make a note of that for me.
We shouldn't tell anybody.
Oh, that's true.
You'll edit this,
We're going
right?
to cut this out. We're going to cut this part out.
No.
That's just for me, then.
It's really, it's like a back door. It's truly the back door to Dodger Stadium.
And there's no security or anything?
There is. It's just a single road. There's only like 2 or 3 ticket stands, but everyone comes in through the main pipelines from the 101, from the 5, from the 134, all those areas. Mm-hmm. So you just come in from, look it up.
I will.
I won't spell it out for you, but yeah. Check it out.
You've had season tickets? Like, you grew up going to games all the time?
No, my family didn't have season tickets. It was a special event thing.
Okay.
We had, I had my birthday party there once.
Ooh, cool.
It was always special family outings, It was, if someone had a birthday or somebody got tickets, or 76 used to always do, if you bought this much gas, you got free tickets type of thing. That was kind of where my family resided in that. So always special moments. But I didn't have season tickets till I had little disposable income, not much. I probably actually shouldn't have even been spending my money on that at the time. But I got my original season ticket package was the bobblehead package.
Oh, nice.
And the 10 game, you get the 10 bobblehead games. And then it was like, I could get to the stadium in 12 minutes. And I went, oh, wow, this is, and I didn't have a day job. I was just kind of running my own photo business. So I had time. And so 10 games. And it was like, okay, we did that for 2 years. And then let's do the 25 game package. And then it was the half season. And then it was like, should we just go for it? So we started in the top reserve. And, after a good 10 years, 12 years probably, during COVID, when so many people gave up their seats, and we were about to, my season ticket partner and I were about to, I was like,
you were going to give them up?
Well, yeah, it's like, the way season tickets work is...
Or just for that year?
No, you can't just once you give it up, you fall completely to the back of the line. There is no, unless you have a friend in the sales department. But, it was, season tickets are, it's a part-time job. You have to either bring on partners or you have to sell tickets to be able to afford next season. So by the end of the season, hopefully they make it to the playoffs and you get a couple rounds of selling those tickets so you can afford a big chunk. It pays for a big chunk. You bank this amount of money to pay for the next season. You only have to pay 20% of the big.
Good to know.
It really is a crazy system. Everyone's like, how do you afford this? I'm like, I don't. We have this banked money, because we started in the reserve, like past first base in the corner.
Yeah. And
by the time that COVID year happened, I was like, I feel like let's look and see what's available. And I was section 101, Loge, row G, which is, the stadium is like dead center is G6 letter of the alphabet.
Okay.
You can
dispute that. Count it.
Yeah, we can do that right now. But I mean, I think it's the best seat in the house. The Loge, you're just up a little bit.
That's perfect.
It was perfect.
That's exactly what I like. I like to be like a tiny bit off center.
Yeah. Just
a little high up so you can see everything.
Everything. And it was the best. But then it was, for 2 seats, it was $17,000 a season.
Holy crap.
Holy crap is right. And then because of COVID, and then there was the whole thing. So because of COVID, you couldn't sell the tickets a certain way with StubHub, and then I couldn't sell 40 games. And then I was like, I don't have $17,000.
What has changed over the years from you going to at Dodger Stadium that you've noticed just from when you were a kid going to now? Besides, I can't imagine the bobblehead lines were as long as they are now.
No, it wasn't a thing. I think it's still, I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't get
the Shohei line probably came to here.
I drove by because we weren't done here. I was here like every day building, and then I would go to Silver Lake to our other location. And that day I left here to go run over. We open at 11 over there. The game is at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock, and the gates are at 4. It was 10:15 in the morning, and there was a line. I mean, it wasn't a huge line yet, but there was still a line of like 70 people. And I get it, like, people flip these bobbleheads, and I respect the hustle. I just, like, I don't know.
It's getting crazy.
It's getting insane, Like I've always I've either posted, or now that people can come into my world, it's like, if you want, I'm not giving you $150 for that thing, but if I will gladly trade you for, come have beers with your family, not beers, come eat with your family, and I will take care of you. I'll trade you for the bobblehead.
Oh, all right. Do you hear that?
Yeah, but only one. Only one. I really don't need any more bobbleheads. But I do want that Shohei one, if I'm being honest. More so the Decoy.
Right?
Can we talk about Decoy? Is that, I know it's...
Actually, we call Shohei Decoy Ohtani.
There you go. I just
Because
posted.
Decoy is like the star of the show. I mean, when he threw the first pitch, have you ever seen anything like it?
I can't. I like very, very rarely am I speechless, but like I cannot handle this dog.
Are you surprised though? Of
I
course,
am.
Shohei has the most well-behaved, well-trained dog of all time.
But it's like I just posted yesterday because when they posted the MVP most valuable pup, I'm a dog guy through and through, and there is something about the Dodgers embracing the dog that I can't get over. I was just sitting there on my phone yesterday looking at that freaking dog. Like, it makes me so happy. Like, in a time where I'm so busy, it's just seeing that. It wasn't so much the MVP post. It was a separate post where there's like Shohei, his wife, and his friends all cheersing with champagne.
And Decoy.
Because there's just a dog there. Like, and I think probably I love comedy, but I don't know if you could be in a comedic world like just dog hand prop humor of like dogs doing human things. So to see a dog cheersing the MVP celebration with champagne,
yeah, it's pretty
really
amazing. But
Yeah.
I can just imagine what Decoy does for Shohei. You know, it's like a comfort zone,
Oh, come on.
and it also like takes the conversation away from him and gives him something else to talk about
course.
and shine a light on. Not him, who, you know, the media is following around like crazy.
But it makes him human too. It makes him relatable.
And I love how the Dodgers have embraced Decoy. It's like their new mascot.
In the post I was like, I don't want to call him our mascot, but like, I mean, if that's what he is, what professional sports team like really has like college teams? Yes, have dogs and have, you know.
But even Dodger Stadium has like the day that everyone can bring their dogs.
Oh my god!
I don't know about other stadiums. Maybe they do
They
this.
do. I mean,
But that's just another reason I love the Dodgers.
You've seen there was like that viral video of one stadium took it a step further and like made a Simba moment.
Oh my god!
And they played the Lion King music and everyone holds their dogs up. But I actually, when I got my first adult soulmate dog, you know, I still had season tickets, and I took her to the Pups in the Park game, and I actually bought an extra ticket so my mom could come with me and take photos. And there's this photo of me. It's on the wall because at that point in my life, I don't know if I had a happier day in my life.
Aww.
There's a photo of just me and my dog, and my arm is around her, and she's wearing a Dodgers jersey, and I'm looking at the field, and she's looking the same direction, and it's just like, I don't know what is better than that. Like, and now
I can't wait to see that.
of course, you know, getting married, and now my daughter, of course,
Aw.
trumped those things. But it was in that moment, I still look at that photo, and it's so stupid, and but it's so beautiful how happy I was. So yeah, that's Decoy forever. I like, my dog is like the reverse color scheme.
Okay.
And, you know, I'm all about just like, you know what? I feel like they be friends. Like, so now I'm in this world of Dodger lore, and now it's in my head. Like, can I get?
You want the dogs to
I want them to be friends, and I also like, I would love to have a Decoy day here somehow.
All right, let's get Shohei here.
I mean,
Well,
100%.
okay, let's talk about where we are and how this started, because before COVID, you were a photographer.
Yeah.
So how did pizza enter your life?
It's I've never been a pizza person, honestly. I worked at In-N-Out. I love In-N-Out.
You worked at
I
In-N-Out?
worked at In-N-Out. I'm a SoCal burger guy. There's that. I feel like LA is a burger.
What's your In-N-Out order?
I have 3.
Okay, let's hear it.
Depends on how
I'm
my
just an
day's
animal
going.
style girl.
So I'm always animal style. But the flex, the orders, it's very minor tweaks. But my number one go-to is number one, a double animal style. Add light raw onion and fries extra pepper, and that's it.
Okay.
So every once in a while, I'm feeling a little spicy, I will add chopped chilies. And if I'm just a little more hungry than usual, I will get either one of those with a meat patty with cheese on the side.
Oh.
Because if you want to actually understand why In-N-Out is so good, I think you got to just try a meat patty with cheese. Because the way they season.
Just with nothing else?
Nothing else. It comes on a little, don't get the Flying Dutchman, secret menu stuff. Get just a meat patty with cheese, and you see how they season the beef and how good it is and how good the cheese is, and then you can understand building on top of it why it's so good.
I feel like Adam would get that. Like just a plain patty cheese.
I know where we're going after this.
We used to call it when it was called the Scooby snack, because it was like if they fire burgers ahead of time. They look at, it's really wild the way that place works. There's mirrors everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's so efficient. I'm always like, the line looks so long and you're like, it's so intimidating, but they move through it so quick.
Well, they have a camera on the line.
Okay.
And they have mirrors at every station that bounce off of each other. So anyone in any station can look at a mirror at any time and see how many people are in line. And so I feel like no one knows these type of things, but the reason it's actually efficient is because they anticipate the line. So if there's 20 people in line, they throw down, before people order, they throw down minimum one patty per person.
Wow.
So sometimes they
all
gamble.
The tips and tricks from In-N-Out.
And even with fries, the fry person looks at a mirror or they have a monitor and they go, okay, 20 people, so that's minimum 10 fries. They drop 10 fries so that they can. Yeah.
And that's why we all love In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah. And that's why I'll have a cease and desist that night. Yeah.
So you were making pizza on your front porch.
Yeah. And
during COVID, just for your neighbors?
Yeah. My wife had bought me a pizza oven, and for Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever. And we, I don't know, in my fast life of nightlife and traveling to shoot events, it was like the first time it slowed my life down. Pizza, and I'm making the dough, and so it was. I had such a clear moment when lockdown started of everyone's talking about who's going to restaurant workers, frontline workers, and it was just a wild time. But I very clearly thought to myself if this is what this is about, I'm going to literally be the last person who goes back to work, because all I did was festivals, concerts, big group events. And so, I don't know, I had to just kind of figure out what I wanted to do to survive, because we didn't know if we were getting money. And
were you happy as an event photographer? Did you like your job?
I loved it. I still do. I still do it, actually. I still, nobody thinks I still do it because I don't really post about it, but that's how I still make a living, so I don't know how I managed to juggle it at this point, honestly, but
I have no idea.
But it's, I created me and a few other people created a real niche industry of all the photo booths you see now at every event. When I started to do it, there weren't 400 companies. There weren't iPads. There literally were not iPads yet when we started figuring out how to do it. So I made this video wearing a hazmat suit, basically with my La Sorted's jersey. I had a La Sorted's jersey, and I was like, you know what? If we can't have baseball, let us have pizza. It was supposed to be opening day of the 2020 season, and I was like, man, what a bummer that we are all stuck in our houses. But how can we what can I do to entertain people and take their mind off of this chaos, you know?
So you had this new pizza oven, and were you just kind of like trying new recipes and learning how to make pizza and seeing what you liked and letting people try it? Like, was that what was happening?
I had a stack of books, and I was just immersing myself in. I became obsessed. Like, I was truly obsessed. And then I would have people over, and I'd be making people pizza, and then I was like, actually, I make pretty fucking good pizza. Like, and I would go, and I just started like trying other stuff to see just even what I liked. Was it New York style? Was it Neapolitan? You know, was it, I didn't even know what else there was, you know, and then it lit something in me, and I have that obsessive entrepreneur.
Yeah,
like,
I can relate for sure.
I need to know why, how,
Yep.
you know, why does it crunch like this? Why does it taste like this? Why is it soggy? Why, you know, and my brother-in-law is a baker. My sister is a pastry chef. So, you know, bless them for letting me just bounce all these ideas off of them. There's pizza people that I would just DM, and then, yeah, it was like I announced it. And so I posted 12 time slots on, you can book an appointment to pick up a pizza.
Oh,
and
like directly from your house?
From my house on my porch. I had a really nice little porch, this old craftsman home. And so I set it up as a way, like there was a table and there was 2 stairs, trying to be respectful.
Yeah, because at this time we're not seeing people. We're wearing masks.
And
oh my gosh.
it seems like, I don't even know what it seems like. It seems like it didn't happen almost. It's starting to get to that point of, wait, what just happened?
It is pretty surreal, but I'm picturing it. I'm picturing you having pizzas ready.
Yeah, and it was 12 people the first day, and I was so happy. Like, I remember posting it, and then within like 10 minutes, it was sold out. It was 12 pizzas, you know. but
this is just from you posting it on your social media and like word of mouth?
I posted it on my, and I don't have a lot of followers on my personal account, but you know, all the people that I have worked with, you know, in Los Angeles, honestly, is like if you ever went to a corporate event, or if you ever went to an immersive experience, like that was my friends, you know. Those people that's the industry. There's these people behind the scenes that put on these larger than life experiences that I take for granted because I'm in it. But the average consumer, if you went to anything, or if you know, the things they build outside of the stadium, anything like that, those are my friends, and we create the impossible. And so I have an amazing network of wildly creative individuals that we all support each other, and these people showed up for me in such a big way, and they just kept being the wind beneath my wings of like, go, like that's funny, that's good.
So what were the first pizzas you were making?
I had the spicy but also sweet boy was a pizza that I had made, which is kind of like our flagship pizza.
Okay.
That was the first pizza I made that was like, oh wow, like there's more than what meets the eye. Like, this is a really good pizza. There was this artichoke pesto, and this pizza called the Spooky, because I would go shopping at Italy because there was so much long lines, and it was so hard to go shopping, you know, for a little while. So Italy, while usually very expensive, they still had this, I mean, it was unbelievable shopping experience. You would show up, they'd only allow,
just go for the samples.
Literally, but it was, you'd walk up and there was 2 people who would greet you, and they'd ask you what glove size you were, and they would spray, they would like ask you if you wanted a shopping basket or a cart, and they would sterilize it in front of you, give you gloves and a mask, and then if you wanted a fresh mask, and then put you on your way. So you would have Italy to yourself, and cool. Yeah. But they had there's a pizza that was called the Spooky because it was cordyceps mushrooms, which are these like stringy orange, like just looked like worms and black trumpets. And so it was Halloween colors. It was called Spooky. And then they ran out of those, and then the Dodgers signed Mookie, and that's why it's now called the Mookie.
Oh, I was going to ask you, because you have a Mookie slice or Mookie pizza on your menu, and it's a lot of mushrooms on it. So I'm like, did Mookie come here once? And he likes mushrooms. How did that connection come about? And what if he doesn't even like mushrooms?
I don't know if he does. I think about it often.
Mookie, do you like mushrooms? If you do, you should meet me here.
Yeah, and if you don't,
and have your pizza.
Yeah, if you don't, I'll make it whatever you want. How about that? Deal is on the table. I mean, but those were the first pizzas, and it's funny to look back at them now because now we make amazing, like really, really great pizza. But I just look back at those pizzas and like I thought they were 12 inches. They were like I didn't know how to stretch properly, and so these pizzas that were supposed to be 12 inches were probably closer to 9 or 10. And like bless my friends for just saying, "Oh, this is amazing." I think
that's how it goes, though. When you start anything, the hardest thing to do is just start, and every day you're going to get better.
Of course.
So I even think about like our first podcast episode. We were talking into the microphones this close.
Yeah.
And now I'm looking back, and it's like so much growth, but you just got to start. And so you did, and started this whole new journey for yourself.
I did.
So how did it go from people picking up the pizzas on your porch to, did you have a food truck?
Basically, long story short, I was being kicked out of our house because we weren't paying rent. Nobody was because of the moratorium. But because of that, we were offered to leave our house. We weren't really offered, but they kind of told us we had to leave because they're going to tear it down and build luxury apartments. Tale as old as time. But so it was like, this is still early 2020, this is like June-ish, and it was kind of like, I'm not going back to work. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna like start a pizza business and like start doing pop-ups, and the little ovens weren't enough. So I drew out this idea of, I was like, everyone was buying the same pizza oven from the same guy, custom trailer. And there's so many funny stories of why I chose to do this truck, but I'll just cut to why. Yeah, it's a 66 Ford Econoline truck, bright yellow truck. I bought a yellow pizza oven, put it on the back, and then started just made this character.
There has to be a picture of that somewhere.
It's actually, that we're talking about it, I don't have any photos of it on any of the wall. I keep it close by, and it's still, there's nothing like it.
I know.
It's pretty amazing truck. And someone that liked it so much they stole it, actually.
No way.
It was a wild, I was at Burning Man. I'd already been there for 6 days, but I had a huge event. And once Burning Man starts, well, it used to be when Burning Man would start, cell phone switches stopped working because so many people there and there's not enough signal. And so I called my shop and made sure my manager, I was making sure you're good. But I was going to call him, and he called me, and he's like, "Hey, is somebody else doing the event with us?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? It's you and these two guys." And he's like, "Well, the truck's not here." And I was like, "What do you mean the truck's not there?" And he's like, "Yeah, the truck is gone." And so I had an air tag in it. And sure enough, I posted that the truck was stolen. It's so funny to think about someone stealing
a bright yellow
truck with a pizza oven on it. That's just huge hand-painted Lasortids on the side. I don't know where you thought you were going to go, but people... the post went viral. People were it got shared over, I only had at the time, I feel like I had 5,000 followers, but it got shared over 10,000 times.
Wow.
And people started to message me that oh, I saw it around Echo Park Lake doing circle. I saw it downtown. And then people messaged me. One girl messaged me that she was so confused because she's a customer. and that the truck was parked outside of her house on the street when she went to work. And at that time, it might have been her, like somebody with an iPhone walked by. So it got pinged, and my brother-in-law drove down and like found it and sat with it and just waited till the cops came. They never came, actually. We just had to just take the truck back because they I don't.
Did you find the person, or
No.
you just took it back?
No, I just took it back.
Oh
That
my
was it.
gosh!
Wow.
So you still have it?
I still have it. Still love it.
Right. That's amazing. I mean, what a community you have that has helped you from the moment you started this pizza journey to helping you find the truck.
That was what I was thinking about. I was like, we all have a interesting relationship with social media. Sometimes it's like, is this the devil? But it's also, it does bring people together, good or bad, you know? And I was like, wow, like so many people cared and so many people like had seen the truck and it did something to them that they remembered and felt that they should share to help me. And it's those moments of like humanity that make this such a rewarding experience, you know, to be a part of something.
Yeah. Well, it also says a lot about you.
Yeah.
And all these people rallying around you and who care about you and what you're doing.
100%.
Which is really, really cool.
I think it is very cool. That's like, as I get older, I tell people the importance of supporting your friends and helping them believe in themselves. Like, and it's so simple. You can do, like, I don't want to be the guy talking about like leave a review, you know, like a positive review, like that little thing you could do. Even if you just told someone, this is an in and out thing. It's also how I was raised, you know, like the please and thank yous, like, but it's wild. Like, I don't think people understand how this little thing in and out, like you have to ask everyone before you take their order, like, how's your day going? And it's just when I ask people here, like some people are taken aback, like, and really genuinely go, wow, thank you so much for asking. And you're like, really? Like, because I ask everyone I meet, like, how you doing? Like, how you doing today? Just that simple humanity thing, you know, it's every day is, I guess people experience it less and less, but just that level of when we all come together, you know, it's really special. We're capable of amazing things, you know?
Yeah, we really are. And you're right. Like, taking a moment to leave a review, taking a moment to ask someone how they're doing or how their day's going, or just make eye contact, say hello.
I know.
I think so much has changed since COVID, but I know that, like, for me as an entrepreneur, for you, how much that means to you. And like, my sister has a clothing brand, and, you know, so many people, like, even when we see our family members, like, I wear the Papa sweater, that's what she makes, every day. And she's like, why don't you send me a picture? Yeah. Like, those little things for business owners truly make our entire day, week, month, just by, like, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes that no one ever will see or know the level of work that you're putting into it with your whole heart and you with such authenticity, that just someone taking a moment to show you any type of appreciation for what you're doing, it's huge. It really is.
Keeps you moving, you know. Being an entrepreneur and starting your business, like, is an incredibly vulnerable, like, makes you wildly vulnerable, like, to taking a chance on yourself and hoping people get it. Even this, like, that we're touching on it, but it's like, you know, everyone thinks that this is like just the easy play, but, you know, to do Dodger thing, but like I chose to do, you know, I chose to call it Assorteds, and I chose to go about it a certain way that was unique to me and what I thought LA, like Angelinos and Dodger fans would. It's like instinctual. It's not me pandering to people. This is who I am. This is where I grew up. This is what it means to me. Like, I'm not just putting Dodger signs on the wall. Like, it has to have a story. And like, that has been, it's become bigger than me in a way that the lore of the Dodgers, like, are to Los Angeles. It's not about baseball. It's about going to games with your father, your grandfather, your mom, your family. You know, it's for me, it's gonna, when I take my daughter to her first game, you know, I get emotional. But
it's gonna be the best day.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I love baseball because of my dad, and my dad passed away when I was 16, and this is my connection with him.
Yeah.
He wasn't a Dodger fan. He was a diehard Philly fan.
There you go.
But the fact that I found a team that I loved as much as he loved his team, I feel like he would think that's the coolest thing.
Of course.
And just like what you're saying, this is bigger than the Dodgers. It's bigger than baseball. It's your story, and it's a way for you to connect with people. Like, I started this podcast in a tremendous amount of grief and sadness, and I had stopped doing a cookie business that was making me depressed, honestly, and I wasn't making enough money, and all I wanted to do was talk about the Dodgers. It was such a big passion of mine, and it all just happened so organically that I'm sitting here with you today on, like, episode 39, I think. and I'm so grateful for the community that I'm building and meeting people like you. I mean, it's so cool to meet someone else that has started a business from a passion of the Dodgers. And even when I came in here for that watch party, everybody here, it was like we all love the same thing. We have an instant connection. We have an instant love that immediately just connects us all. And, like, what else do we want these days? Like, that connection, the community, and it's just really, really cool.
No, it's again, people think I'm gaslighting when I say this isn't about the Dodgers. It's like, really. And I'm like, it is about the Dodgers, but it is, to me, it's about, especially, not to, like, beat that drum of, you know, we're so divided, but honestly, like, it's not that we're divided. I think that we're just fed so much information that we're told, or that we tell these algorithms that we want. And so that's when these human interactions mean more and more every day. And, like, that's why when my thing has always been is, when you go to the stadium, it used to be 4 hours. Now it's 2 hours and 20 minutes, the games. But you used to have, like, this break from your life. And I actually didn't used to really enjoy baseball games or watching it, going to games. Like, even when you're a kid, like, at a certain point, like 4 innings in, you're probably like, okay, I want to go home. Like, I don't get it, you know? But then as you get older, you just, like, if you can have 3 hours where you can just sit there, and that's what's beautiful about baseball. And I've had this late in life, like, love affair with baseball, because I would take new friends, people that I just met, or new clients, or people who were not from LA. I would take them to their first Dodger game and buy them their first LA hat and a Dodger hat. And it's like, you don't have to watch the game. You can just sit there, have a beer, and get to know somebody, you know? And that's what that place is. That's what the Dodgers are. Like, I mean, if you're nuts if you think that we all have the same political views or morals or everything, but, like, again, when humans come together, like, to believe in something together, to do something. And I always say, like, that's my new thing, is we're just hoping to get a win, you know? And if the way it feels when they win and they play Randy Newman, it's like, it feels, I don't know, it's so special. And that's, that was my goal, is, like, if I can tap into that, just, like, in a genuine way that I know I care about, the things that make the experience special to me, then hopefully it's just, if you give someone, like, 2% of that experience, they feel something, you know? And that's what, like, a lot of the stuff on the walls, like, a lot of it is mine, but then, like, I very intentionally purchased a lot of stuff on eBay that, like, not even. I would purchase these.
You love eBay.
I know. It really is amazing. Like I would buy these, like, is there one here by chance? These like scorecard, these yearbooks. Either these yearbooks, you can't see it. I'm probably pointing them. But there's
That is the yearbook.
they would do these scorecards. And what was really fun for me to look back at scorecards from the 60s, from the 70s, and like see these ads. Like, for example,
I know,
like,
this is hilarious.
this was like, if
A Slim Fast ad of Tommy Lasorda
but
is
this,
what we're
he
looking at.
He was the spokesperson for Ultra Slim Fast. Like, he went from this to this. I mean, look at him. I mean, but it was those things, like pop culture references, not all about these, but what has been the wildly most rewarding experience in Lasorda thus far, and why I wildly irrationally opened up this or signed this lease, like, because I needed to tell this story. I needed people to have this place, and we got so much press during the playoffs, and like, it's something you can't pay, something you can't write, and the fact that I dreamt about it. You know, I thought about, like, God, if they could just win the World Series like, if I open in October and they go all the way and win the World Series, like, I never imagined that I would have a place that you can see the stadium, right? But like, I was like, if it happens, but you know, there's that meme of the guy that I look at every time the playoffs start. There's a meme of the guy who's like acting like he's killing himself, you know, like he's drinking bleach, and he goes, oh, just kidding. And then he like act like he's gonna jump off the thing, and it's Dodger fans going into the playoffs. It's just like, we're tortured because we've got so far so many times. And so I was like, when I saw that we were playing the Padres, I'm like, fuck me. Like, of all the teams I did not want to play in the first round.
I know.
And but we did it, and like I was a little worried that like we were just gonna have this 1 month and that it would fall off, you know. And how would we operate in between, like, when we're not the Dodgers aren't playing? And it's because this is a pizzeria, and it, again, more and more, there's less places like this in our lives. We're kind of in these cold, like, not heartless, but because it's somebody else is taking a chance on themselves. But like, I'm fortunate enough to have amazing friends to support me, to help me put my heart into these walls, and that know me and trust me, and I trust them. And like, now when it's families that come, like grandparents, parents, and their grandchildren or kids. And it's like, I watch people, the grandparents, point to that because they remembered that moment, and they tell their grandkid, I was doing this when that happened.
That's
or
so
do you know
cool.
who that is? And then the dad says, oh, grandpa took me to that. And then the kids are just like, they're just like, what the hell is going on in here? You know, or like, even the music I play is like very specific to my life and my childhood. And so to watch people singing songs to their, or like acting like they did when they were 30 when that song was on, you know, and to watch kids be like, Grandma, what are you doing? Like, why are you, like, that was their, you know, that's what this is all about. And it's been pretty unbelievable.
Well, it's cool, and I think I'm relating to a lot in just starting things from such a passionate place. And I just encourage people to really do that. Like, lean into who you are. Your uniqueness is your superpower.
I say that.
I really hope and wish for people to shine a light on that, because that's what we need more of. And for you to be someone creating this for people to enjoy, that's such an amazing thing. And you must sit or stand back there watching people sit in these chairs so proudly. But it also, you know, you did transition from being a photographer, but it seems similarly to me in starting the podcast. Like, I had wanted to start a podcast. I didn't know it was going to be a baseball podcast.
Yeah.
But I would years in notebooks writing down names. I couldn't come up with the right title and things like that. So when the baseball podcast came up, it all just happened so organically. The title just popped into my head. I got it on Instagram. Things just fell together, and it kind of seemed like that's what happened for you. And some things I just feel like are meant to be, like the Dodgers winning this World Series this
100%.
year. There were so many serendipitous moments that I know that starting a podcast the year we win the World Series means so much to me on so many levels personally and just being a Dodger fan. So I want to ask you that same question. Like, with you opening this, I know this is your second location, but this is like your first sit-down restaurant.
Yeah.
With all you've been through, what did this World Series win mean to you?
It was amazing. I mean, the win was amazing, but like, I knew that this was it. Like, either people were gonna buy it or they weren't. Dodger fans were gonna either get it or they weren't.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, in a perfect world, I could have slow boated this through the season and, done press, roll out. But we literally opened right when we're starting.
Yeah, was that intentional to open in October?
It was not intentional. Like, if I had it my way, if the city of LA could get their shit together. Anyways, sorry, that's a side story for anybody wanting to open a restaurant. But it's but it was like a hard deadline. I said, like, I don't care. Like, to numerous people that were helping me, I was like, I don't care what the hell it takes. Like, I need, at the very least, I need to open in October 1st. Like, I need to be ready to open when the Dodgers are in the playoffs. Like, that's it. And if you can't do it, like, give me the numbers of the people I need to call. I will call them. I'll go to their office. I will show up every fucking day to make sure that at least I have this opportunity. But then, yeah, like, it still was stressful because I hope that they keep going, but like, I don't know I haven't really sat in it because it was so much happened in a month, and then we did win, and bless my staff, we were working so much, and even when we weren't working, we were working, and it's like, it is the event side of me. There's a lot of things that I do not out of spite, but I think a lot of people just say, like, why not,
Mm-hmm.
or not, what's the phrase, like, it's like, I don't ask why or why, I ask why not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you know what, like, let's make these lights, like, let's make these lights that mimic the lights in the stadium.
Yeah.
Let's
Sounds like me, Adam. I always tell him, I don't hear the word no.
Yeah.
I think of, okay, fine, what's plan B then?
Yeah. No, and I was, even to my staff, I'm like, no, I'm putting tables outside.
Well, you were hosting watch parties for every game?
Well, I wanted, like, even when you were at, like, Alan, bless Alan, the sweetest boy on the face
really
of this
is.
earth. Man on the face of it, but we
The
say
sweetest
sweet,
hot dog.
Yeah, odd. But he really, I hit him up in
He's the one that dresses in the hot dog.
LA
Dodger dog. The nicest guy.
I wanted to assemble people to get the word out that we were here, and like, but Dodger fans, like, they're not new to this. Like I was saying, the pandering of, like, just putting some Dodger shit in the wall. Come spend your money here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is an experience. Like, it's a pizzeria, but, like, I care about it not just being a pizzeria. This is a connection. Like, if you can't go to a game, you can watch the game here, and it will be, I don't know, you'll feel at home. You'll feel it's a different experience, and I was you taking a chance, and they could have lost in the first round, I mean, shit.
I knew we had it once we beat the Padres.
I know, of course, that was the World Series. anyone will tell you that.
I mean, the team has been saying
That was the National League Championship Series.
Actually, I said this yesterday when I was on ESPN Radio. No, not bragging or anything.
Whoa.
Proud moment.
Okay.
But the moment I just felt like we had it was, remember Profar robbing Mookie's homer and jumping up and down in front of the fans and not letting people realize he had the ball? Well, I hated that.
Oh, yeah.
Really hated that. The next day, Mookie hits a homer, almost the same exact place, but he gets it this time.
Yeah.
And I just felt like karma and things were changing for the better for us. Yeah. And that moment, I'm like, we have this.
Yeah. I was so nervous.
It's over for you Padres.
Yeah. Dad. I call them the dads. I don't even call them Padres. I just go, real cute dads. Like, I hate the Padres so much.
And then but they were a really good team. I don't like their antics. I don't like their egos.
No.
And we really rose above all of that during that series, which
100%.
Must have been so hard because I would have just wanted to kick their asses. But then we go on to the Mets and Yankees, and we just were the better team.
We were, when they signed, when the Dodgers signed Shohei and then revealed that he deferred all of his money, you're just like, what a guy, to do. You got $700 million coming. So, but that, I was like, oh wow, this is gonna be a thing. And I signed a 10-year lease here.
Oh wow.
And I was like, oh wow, he signed a 10-year contract. I signed a 10-year contract. Yeah, look at us.
Things are lining up.
It's so funny the things you associate with.
Oh, I'm born in '88.
Yeah.
I move here the year we start being in the postseason every year. The
baseball
year
fans-
I start a podcast and we win. I'm like,
No, I'm 42. You know what I mean? Just all these little baseball fans are nuts. But this season, it was beautiful. I got to because I'm entertaining people, and I got to remove that the monkey off of my back of what do you call it? Superstition. I got to just I knew that by me going to my iPad and queuing up Randy Newman, that I wasn't jinxing myself. I had to put myself in a position to give somebody a memorable moment. And I'm like, it was freedom to not have to worry about it.
I made World Series champs shirts before we won.
You got to do it.
And I'm like, am I jinxing us by doing this?
God, MLB does it every year. They make the other team's hats.
I know.
And they send them to less fortunate people, There's a lot of not World Series champ hats somewhere in the world.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I think about that sometimes.
Yeah.
Who's wearing them? But anyway, I do just kind of want to wrap up the story, and so you open your kind of a to-go place in Silver Lake.
Yep.
That's your first Assorteds.
Yeah. It was a takeout only. I was doing catering most of the time and pop-ups.
So it was going so well that you...
It wasn't actually just going so well. I just wasn't... It wasn't my full... I just felt confined. I felt like I couldn't, you can only do so much, but it's still people love that little cubby. It's like a locker I have, and I just put all pizza Dodger memorabilia on the walls. There's a really cool Oral Hershiser. I have a cutout back to eBay, but I was looking at Dodger pizza on eBay, and then I found this Oral Hershiser had done this collaboration with Pizza Hut, which I now think that talking out loud about this, it makes zero sense. But you could buy a pitcher, like a thermos, and they called it the relief pitcher.
Oh.
And it was in LA. I'm sure they did it with other people at other places, but in LA it was Oral Hershiser, and it's just him holding the red thermos. And then so I bought that because it was a Pizza Hut thing. It was very cool. And then because I bought that, a week later I go onto eBay, and the original cardboard cutout that was at Pizza Hut's of Oral Hershiser holding the thing was there. So I bought that, and it's I have Tommy Lasorda, honking deep
I'm going to ask him about that.
You should. It'd be funny just to have him actually stand there.
He would
for people to come in and go, wait, is that? But it wasn't enough, and I wanted to if I'm gonna do this, Same way I went and bought the truck. Same way I signed the lease in Silver Lake. That was not enough. I'd have to keep going, and I won't stop. And, like, I'm already thinking of our next place, and what will it be, and where will it be, and how will I replicate this? It's a challenge, and I've challenge accepted. And, again, I know who I am. I know why I am, and that knowing that is a result of people believing in me. And it is. I call it my superpowers, like really understanding who you are not, what you are capable of, and what your weaknesses are. But that truth is, it's not easy to get there, and I'm still not there, like, every day, But that's what's next. What's next? I don't know. But it's going to be
But
something.
that's also like that growth mindset that's so important for an entrepreneur, of constantly wanting to grow and get better and push ourselves to become better in every aspect of our lives. I just have a couple more questions for you. One, you have to tell me where the name Lasorteds came from.
Yes. So this is, it's, people say it was named, it's named after Tommy Lasorda, and I love Tommy Lasorda. He's this is the Tommy Wall. He's a legend. He is a absolute legend. But the name is because I go to Burning Man every year, and I have a camp that I've always been a part of, and then ended up being the leader and running. And one time, somebody showed up. My friend Jefferson showed up, and I'm going to say his name this time, because I normally just say a friend, but he showed up with nothing.
Hey, Jefferson.
Yeah. But he like, somebody had screwed him over. He had nothing. At Burning Man, everyone thinks it's this big hippie festival. And
people spend months planning.
And also the principle is radical self-reliance. So it's like, if you show up with nothing and just expect people to take care of you, people will tell you to go fuck yourself.
Okay. That's
how it actually works. And so to show up and have nothing is a big fuck you. Anyways, Jefferson shows up, asks me, like, dude, can you please help me out? I really need help. And so I'm like, give me an hour, just hang out. And I got him a yurt to stay in, a mat, a bed. He got electricity.
Wow.
This and that. So he was in, and he was with my buddy Philly, and him were just kind of talking about, like, apparently they were talking about, wow, Tommy, man, Jesus. And they all know I'm a Dodgers fan, and I don't know which one of them said it, but they were basically like, man, Tommy Lasorted, like, because I sorted them out.
Oh.
So he came out to the camp. When I walked into the camp, he's like, Tommy fucking Lasorted, like, wow. And I didn't have a pizza oven yet, but as a thank you for taking care of them, a week after Burning Man being home, they were like, hey, are you home? We have something for you. And they showed up at my house with they made me a custom, not a Dodgers jersey, just a white baseball jersey. They're both working fashion, and so they made me a handmade, like, jersey with Lasorted on it. So
that's awesome.
When it came time to open a pizzeria in COVID, I was like, I'm not Italian. I don't know anything about pizza, so I don't want this to be Tommy's, I don't want it to be about me. So it was like, what could it, like, there isn't a place repping Los Angeles, like, as a brand in pizza. And it was like one of the first things I thought about was, man, like, nobody is, like, taking this lane. And so, I might get in trouble for it, calling it Lasorteds, but not really. It's just a joke. Yeah. And it's my name.
The name is perfect.
And my name is Tommy. And it was like, but I love Tommy Lasorda,
I think Tommy Lasorda would love it.
He would have loved it. I don't know.
This would have been his spot.
His spot was down the street, was Little Joe's, and it was an old Italian restaurant. And so that's how we got here. I wore the jersey over this hazmat suit, and I acted like I was gonna throw a pitch, and instead of throwing a pitch, I had a pizza dough behind and then I like threw up the pizza dough, and that's how I launched Assorted.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So, and here we are all this time later. And it's less sorted. It's not LA sorted. Although they both work. But yeah, that's what it is.
So if someone's coming here for the first time, what would you have them get?
I mean, you're not going to go wrong with any of the pizza. The upside down pizza has kind of become our calling card.
That's my favorite, and I'm not saying this just because I'm next to Tommy right now. I have been thinking about the upside down mamba slice since I was here last.
It really is. It's something. It's the simplest thing in the world, but that our wings are. I'm about to go on a campaign of saying that we have some of the best wings in Los Angeles.
Ooh.
So there's that, and the Little Tony, our fried mortadella. I love mortadella, and that sandwich is, we get to use Philippe mustard, and I don't know. You're not gonna go wrong. I hate to be the guy that like
everything.
Hey, what's good? And then it's like 4 minutes later, I've literally said everything on the menu. But it's hard not to be that guy when
I get it.
You love what you put on the menu. I love it all, and so I think most people will too. Yeah.
And how old is your daughter, and when do you get to take her to her first game?
Oh, she's 8 weeks old or 9 weeks old now.
Oh my
she's
gosh.
Baby Charlie. She is a baby.
Oh.
So, I don't know if it'll be this. I guess you could go around a year old. I don't know how that logistically works. It seems kind of like it'd be a nightmare because you just don't know what's going to happen.
Seeing babies in little Dodger jerseys is the cutest thing, but I'm just so happy for you and this amazing place that you've created. And I'm just thinking about your daughter getting to grow up in this amazing Dodger Los Angeles community and, be like you were, admiring your grandparents and your parents, big Dodger fans, and her gonna be asking you all those questions that you were asking your family. So I appreciate you so much letting us come here and talk to you. And if anyone wants to meet me here and have pizza, you just let me know.
Just let her know. We'll be here.
So we are at Assorted in Chinatown, and come check it out and meet Tommy.
I'll be here. Please come back.
Later.
Go Dodgers!
I do usually say go Dodgers.